Hello and welcome to my channel, and we are filming my March TBR. So if you had seen my spring TBR, you will know there's a bit of a theme here. We are trying to read and get through as many series as humanly possible. We're also starting some series in these next couple of months. But of course, that is all dependent on the prompts. As usual, we'll be picking 5 prompts, and then of course we'll be picking out of our jars. There is going to be a new rule with our series jar and actually with our rereads jar, so I won't be picking out of the rereads jar today, but I'll get to that later. So if you want to know a little bit more about the series that we are trying to get through, I will direct you to the spring TBR, which should be publishing shortly before this one, so you should have already watched it. So let's get to pick number 1. A book with TB and R in the title. Okay, actually we have a few more options than I thought, which works for me. An Ember in the Ashes, TBR. Between Commitment and Betrayal, BTR. The Beyonders, A World Without Heroes, BRT. And The Goblin Emperor, TBR. Question is, I mean, all of these are technically the start of a series. And I really want to go with this one. But the responsible one in me says, since technically I picked this out in February, I should do this one. And I think I'm going to go with this one. Hopefully we can get the Goblin Emperor on this TBR, because I do really want to read it. But we're going to go with the Beyonders, because I did purchase the next 2 books with the intention of reading the whole trilogy in February, and I just didn't have the time. It is still technically early enough in February that I could, but I have other books that I need to prioritize over this one. So we'll pick up the Beyonder series. This is a middle grade trilogy, one that Benson owned, and if they didn't own it when I moved in, then I probably wouldn't even consider picking it up. Like, I probably would have never heard of it. But I have, and I ordered the next 2 books, so we're working on the series. Pick number 2. I'm sorry, Your Highness. Am I interrupting your sleep? A random shelf generator, meaning I have to go downstairs and get my laptop, which hopefully will be alive. Basically, what this prompt means is I have technically 5 shelves, including my closet, not including my TBR cart. Yeah, I don't include my TBR cart because that's books that obviously... You know, why don't we include my TBR cart? Because I could pick out of the unwrapped books. So we'll randomly generate a number 1 through 6, and then from there we will generate a specific shelf, and that is the shelf that I have to pick a book from. Okay, thankfully my laptop is charged. What we're gonna do, random number 1 through 6 is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a random number 1 through 4 is 3. So there's nothing on that shelf that I actually need to read right now. I mean, other than, I think Pokemon's the only one that I have not read on this shelf, and I don't know. You know what? Why not? This technically isn't one that I was prepared to read. I don't even think it's on my spreadsheet. This is one of Benson's books, but I think it's the only... Yeah, no, I read Cat Gamer, read Promised Neverland, Black Butler. Yeah, I read every single book on this shelf except for the Pokemon Adventures. So, all right, pick number 3. A Second Chance. So a book that I've tried to read before, and either put down for some reason or wasn't feeling at the time. Why don't we finish a series instead of starting 2 new ones with Once Upon the End? This is the 3rd and final book in the Half Upon a Time series. This is one that is actually kind of nerve-wracking for me, because there's a prophecy that's supposed to come true in this one, and I need to see in which direction this heads in. This is a middle grade series following Jack, who doesn't really want to be a knight in shining armor. He doesn't particularly care about it, and then a princess actually falls from the sky, and he has to help her, essentially becoming exactly what he didn't want to become. And it follows that story from there. It's a lot of fun. I would like to round out this series and see if ultimately I'll keep it on my shelf, because I do enjoy it, but it doesn't necessarily live up to other middle grade fantasy, fairy tale inspired books that I enjoy. Pick number 4. One word title. I think I have 2 options for this. That is Eon and Finale. And this is the one I'm going to go with because I need to read this. A little bit of a spoiler. Not going to tell you for which video, but I'm going to read this anyway in March. So I might as well add it to the TBR and see if we can fit it on. I do already have the audiobook downloaded, so this might be one of the first, if not the first, book that we read in March. And this is the last book in the Carball series. Technically, Christmas novella just came out, and I do want to read that if I love the ending of this series enough. Either way, we'll be rounding out 2 series. Pick number 5. Buzzword, a personal buzzword. So I have 2 prompts in here that say buzzword. One is specifically for the buzzword reading challenge, and that is hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala, and she she puts together this challenge every year where you're supposed to read a book with a specific word in the title. But I also have some personal buzzwords. Actually, looking at these decks, I have a lot more options, so this might be harder than I thought. The Goblin Emperor, for some reason, goblin is a buzzword for me. Moon and sea are buzzwords. Soul of Stars, River God, anything water related is like a buzzword for me. Dreams of gods and monsters. Spy Family, actually family is a good buzzword for me. Dreams, Where Dreams Descend is a good one. Legends, Moon Goddess, there are a lot, actually. Do I want to go easy on myself? I did say I really wanted to get this one on, but I'm also looking at Spy Family, and if I put Spy Family on, I can read both of them. I do technically already have a manga, and this is, and I do need to catch up with my manga for the letter N, and ultimately start my manga for the letter O. Question is, what kind of month is March going to be? March is the month of Realmathon, where I should be reading as many books as I can. I'm participating in Realmathon. It is a month-long readathon where it is competitive based. So I need to read as many books as possible to gain and or take away points from another team. All right, I think we're going to go with Spy Family Volumes 11 and 12. That is the caveat of putting Spy Family on this list. Have to read 11 and 12. Because if I make my priority reads a little easier, then I can focus on and prioritize the readathon, if that makes sense. These are the priorities of the month. If you're new here, then you know my priority reads are the books that I pick out from the jar. These are the priorities. We'll be completing 2 series, continuing on in Spy Family, and starting 2 series. Okay, I mean, one of these was technically not on the TBR, or the spring TBR, but I It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. It's just a manga series. Should read relatively quickly. So, as I said, I am not picking out of my rereads jar because basically my whole purpose of these 2 jars were to actually make some progress in some of my goals. If I didn't reread the book that I said I was going to read last time, I feel like I should roll it over. I started a series in 2024 called like The Bookish Battle, where basically I was putting 2 books against each other, 2 books that I had already read, and trying to see which one won the spot to stay on my shelf, which one I enjoyed more. And I need to make some progress in that. So we've been working on part 2 for a little while. I have actually thought about unhauling Hidden Pictures without giving it a fair shot, but we're not going to do that. So my reread for the month is actually going to be Hidden Pictures by Jason Recolek. I do want to read this one. I listened to it the first time on audio, and I do want to read it physically because I want to see if the pictures make the story more engaging and entertaining. Basically, this follows Mallory, who takes a job as a nanny, and then in true nanny chaos fashion, the little boy ends up drawing pictures and telling stories about this girl named Anya who visits him. So that is going to be our reread. We will not be picking out of a jar. Also, I said there were going to be changes in our series pick, and basically what I'm going to do with this, I think I said in my spring TBR that I am going to pull out of the jar for this month. Whatever I read, if I don't finish or at least make enough progress in it in my mind to qualify to move on, because there are some series that I'm in the middle of that have a ton of books, then I'm just going to roll it over into the next month and actually prioritize completing series, not just continuing but completing. We are going to pull out of the series jar for this month and hopefully actually complete or make progress in some series, and we'll see which that is based on what we pick up. Oh, Benson's gonna be so excited. The Junie B book. Let me see how many books we actually need to complete this series. Okay, so we technically have 9 books in this series left to read. Let me see. Hey, so I'm filming right now. I paused that entire conversation, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was like, did I interrupt? I'm sorry.
Oh, honey, up? I called you, you goober.
No, I know, but what's up?
So I have a question for you.
Okay, what's this question?
And I don't know how much the audio is going to show up on your part, but I'll either way.
Okay, what's this question?
So I'm filming my March TBR. That's okay. My new rule for series is that I need to finish the series before I move on to another one, or at least make enough progress, because we have a couple of series on there that are like a lot of books.
Yeah.
Well, the series I pulled out is Junie B. Jones.
Oh, fuck.
So how do you feel about reading the 9 books left in the series in March?
There's 9 more left?
There's 9 more.
In March?
In March.
Are you crazy? You're telling me I gotta set aside, what, we read those for like, what, an hour almost?
Yeah, probably about.
You're telling me I gotta set aside 9 hours of my time for this brat?
Yeah.
You're killing me, but also fine, sure, I guess, because it's for your TBR and for video, so yeah.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna start walking home. I'm gonna enjoy my peace before I have to think about Junie B. Jones.
Okay.
Alright, I love you.
I love you too. Okay, if you don't know, I don't know if you could hear any of that, but Benson and I have been reading the Junie B. Jones books together. It's a series that I read when I was younger and loved. It was my favorite series of all time. And basically I've been recollecting the volumes and forcing my fiance to read them with me. So of course I had to call them and make sure that they would actually sit down and read them with me. We do take about an hour to read them, mostly because we're laughing so much about them because they are silly, and if I'm being honest, Junie B. Jones is a bit of a brat, but I still really love this series and I love collecting them and sharing a bit of my childhood my fiance. So I think that's what we're gonna do. There are 9 books left. My only problem with this is there is one, there's the Christmas Junie B. Jones. I think the last few books are set based on holidays, and there's a Christmas one that I had when I was little, and it's this very specific edition that I loved. And I want to try to find that. I don't want to collect the new edition of that. I want to see if I can find the old hardcover of that, because I loved that edition so much. If I can't, it's fine. We'll just collect the new edition. But I would really like to find the hardcover edition. And I'm pretty sure there was like a built-in ribbon bookmark, which was one of my first experiences with built-in bookmarks. So I do really want to read those if I can. We'll be reading as many of them in March as humanly possible. Obviously, I have to collect the rest of them. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited we can actually finally cross that series off of the spreadsheet. And I'm really excited to share them with Benson. I know Benson isn't the hugest fan of the books, but it's something that we do together to bond and to create a fun experience, because it's hilarious making them read them with me. So I do have 9 of the Junie B. Jones books here as like replacements for the books that I need to buy. But this is the official March TBR, which does look relatively easy. I am going to see if I can read those other 2 Beyonders books, if I can fit them in March to also start and complete a series. Otherwise, I think we look like we're in good shape. I think this should be a pretty easy and fun month, start of spring. I know spring doesn't technically start until the end of the month, but to me, these spring months are March, April, and May. Okay, I'm sitting here and realizing exactly what I forgot to do again. Literally I feel like every single TBR video, even though I did it all last year, I forgot to unwrap a book. I went with 2 pretty, I mean, the last one wasn't that long. The first one was pretty long. I still haven't finished that one. But I think I might unwrap 2. I don't know. I was talking about how much of an easy month I kind of wanted this to be. But there are going to be a couple months where I have to unwrap 2 this month. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I can't pull it towards me anymore with the piles of books that are sitting right next to me. So I'm going to go get those. Okay, I did get 2. I got one of the graphic novels and then one actually pretty thick book, but I think I know what this one is, and if it is, oh, dang it, I didn't know what it was. This did not help me at all. I thought this one was Gathering of Shadows, which would have helped me in the series front. But actually, it's Devil in the Dark Water. Which is fine, because like I said, I got a short book and a long book. This didn't help me in the series front at all. But, I mean, I guess neither does the other horror thriller that I'm reading this month. So, whatever. It's fine. It's a book that I do want to read. It's I've read the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by this author and really liked it. So, might as well check out more. And then let's see what this one is. Oh, Godzilla and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The other one of this is, I believe the other, I still haven't uploaded this video. Wow, I still haven't uploaded the self-destruct video. So none of this means anything to you guys. But still, Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which is 2 series that I've been getting into because of the Benson Dimension. This is what happens when you date a nerd. Okay, so those are the 2 wrapped books. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. Let me know if there are any of these books that you think I should prioritize over the others. And let's see, what's a fun question. What is your favorite drink? I don't know why I just thought of that, but I did. Let me know your favorite drink down in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more from me, as well as Benson, who's a frequent member on this channel. I will leave all of their links down in the description box below, as well as links to my social media if you want to get any more updates from me. But until then, goodbye.